everybody. We are here because it is part 2 of the 8-part series on Walt Disney, and I am here with Cinderella.
Hey, everyone.
Her name is Virginia Carlson, and we've got a hypothesis. We have a theory in regard to something kind of important. Walt Disney, now, of course, we know this past week he would have celebrated his 121st birthday.
Wow.
But the words that he spoke, I think, are still resonating in Central Florida. What do you think?
I agree. So last week we talked about how Celebration was kind of like Main Street in the Magic Kingdom. And so we were also talking about other areas in 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, and we wanted to talk about Lake Nona, because we think that Lake Nona resembles Tomorrowland. And as you all know, Tomorrowland is in the Magic Kingdom. And it's an area that has all different depictions of the future of technology, the future of discovery, the future of space travel. Basically just shows us how the world is moving fast, and Lake Nona sure lives up to that.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So let's talk about some examples, because I think you're onto something here.
Yeah, so one of the cool things that I wanted to talk about was in Lake Nona, there is an autonomous car or self-driving car, and it will pick you up in Laureate Park and take you down to the Boxi Park area of Lake Nona, which has a lot of live shows and great restaurants. So
wait a minute, let me hear this. There's no driver. You're going to
No
get
driver.
in a vehicle and there's no driver. Well, that's pretty futuristic. What else?
It's really futuristic.
Yeah.
They also have an air taxi, which is super cool. It's an electric taxi, and it goes up in the air, take you about 150 miles, so you could feasibly go from Lake Nona all the way to Tampa in about a half an hour.
Yes, that's one of the things that are on the blueprint for the future of Lake Nona, which I love. I think they're calling it a vertiport. So that's great.
That's correct.
Yeah, and I think even like when we drive into Lake Nona and we see things like the artwork, it's pretty futuristic. Yeah, there was a tree that somebody was going to take out.
She's an Argentinian artist, and she, instead of taking the tree that had died, she painted it pink, and now it is a focal point of the town, and it's just beautiful and breathtaking.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And then when you look at they call it the medical city, right? And even when you look at that, any comments on that?
Yeah, the hospital over there really is just looking towards the future for all medical technologies, just to come up with better cures for things, and it's really looking towards the future to help people at the hospital.
And yes, and now I'm thinking about something else as well, because when you drive up into Lake Nona and you see this big, beautiful building that's open within the last year, it's a hotel.
It is, and then it all says it in the name. It's called the Wave Hotel, the Wave of the Future, and it boasts that it wants to be the most technologically advanced hotel in the world. It's so cool. You go into your room, you can actually just talk to your room, tell your room to adjust the lighting or the air, just really cool stuff.
Oh my gosh, I feel like Lake Nona is the Jetsons.
It is. It's like living in a real-life version of the Jetsons.
So we can't wait to show you some video. We've got some footage coming up, and then stay tuned towards the end, because Cinderella is going to tell you where we're going to go next week for the 3rd part of the 8-part series of what Walt Disney's legacy was. So stay tuned, yeah?
Okay.
Epcot will take its cue from the new ideas and new technologies that are now emerging from the creative centers of American industry. It will be a community of tomorrow that will never be completed, but will always be introducing and testing and demonstrating new materials and new systems. And Epcot will always be a showcase to the world for the ingenuity and imagination of American free enterprise. Right now, our plans include an airport of the future down here in Osceola County.
Epcot's dynamic urban center will offer the excitement and variety of activities found only in metropolitan cities: cultural, social, business, and entertainment. Among its major features will be a cosmopolitan hotel and convention center, towering 30 or more stories. This towering hotel is the visual center of Epcot, the shining jewel at the center of the city. Epcot's People Mover is a silent, all-electric system that never stops running. So this is Epcot, the heart of Disney World.
Hey everybody, this is Kim Hawk and I'm the fairy godmother of real estate, and we are getting ready to show you Lake Nona. Lake Nona 25 years ago was like a cow field. Nothing really was going on here. Maybe Lake Nona Country Club was here with the golf course that was designed by Tom Fazio, but they said it was going to be booming back then, and it really hasn't. But guess what? Right now, it is on fire. You got to be here in Lake Nona because it is happening, and you got to make sure that you stay tuned and see everything that we're going to talk about. This place is alive. Lake Nona is dynamic, and they have got a DJ here. They've got great people that are selling their merchandise. Did you happen to know that there's 12,000 people that live in Lake Nona? 90% of the residents here are college graduates. So, I'm feeling a little bit smarter just by myself. We are here at Boxi Park and it is happening. So if you want to come out and dance and listen to some good music and feel the joy, this is the place to go. You're not going to believe this, but I'm actually leaving this autonomous vehicle. Nobody has to drive this vehicle through Lake Nona, Florida. It's amazing. So as we're able to travel from Laureate Park down to this Boxi area, can you imagine being able to get onto a vehicle? This is a wave of the future. And that's what's happening near Disney in Lake Nona. There's a great possibility of something called a vertiport that's going to be here. First ever. Think about a flying taxi. A flying taxi, yes. It's going to be electric, and you're going to be able to go maybe 150 miles from your area. That would mean maybe from Lake Nona to Tampa, it would take you about a half an hour. And so I feel like it's the Jetsons around here. So even if you look at some of the artwork that's around here, the garages have the binary effect on the outside, so it looks like it's got artwork. There's artwork everywhere. We're going to show you a beautiful tree that had died. They painted it pink, and so it's just showing that you can really see beauty in all things. The U.S. Tennis Association has their headquarters here, and there's even something here about human performance by Johnson & Johnson that talks about 16 seconds in order to reset your mind. And that's the amount of time when you play a game of tennis, and in between those points, you bounce that ball about 16 seconds, you're going to reset that mind so that you're going to be successful and you're going to win that Grand Slam. Then it's all about preventative medicine here. It's called Medical City. Everything from UCF Medical School to the University of Florida. We've got so much to show you, but Lake Nona is happening. We are here in front of the VA hospital in Lake Nona, and this is a very special place in the heart of my family. We actually bought property in Lake Nona 15 years ago, back in the day when this was all, cow fields and there wasn't much going on. But this hospital was critical to us. My father, Robert Elliott, is a veteran, and he was in the Navy. And when I was born, it was during the Cuban crisis. And what happened was my mother gave birth to me when my father was in the Navy on a boat, and the world thought it was going to shut down. It didn't shut down. And let me tell you, Lake Nona is happening. one of the first hospitals that they opened was Nemours, and you'll see that right behind my shoulder. And one of the most beautiful things that I think I've seen is when you're driving past it, you'll see there's different colors at night for the rooms, and what they're doing is they're asking the children what color they would like to represent them. It's purple and green and blue and yellow, and they're having great success in helping our children of Central Florida. As we know, October is the month for National Breast Cancer Awareness. And as my team was here in the town center of Lake Nona, we drove past this incredible tree. So it's painted pink, so we decided we needed to investigate to see what was going on. There's a woman by the name of Samantha Walls, and she's a local artist. She's also from Venezuela. She decided that instead of a dead tree being just torn down, why not try to revitalize it, bring it back to life, add some color, some pop to it, and thus that's how we have this pink tree in Lake Nona. So we're here in Lake Nona and we're walking the trails, and there are treasures everywhere. Look what we're finding just around the corner with no other buildings around it. This is a pink pineapple. And as all of you real estate people know, pineapples mean welcome. So this town, Lake Nona, is saying welcome to our town with a pink pineapple. We're excited to be standing here right in front of the Wave Hotel in Lake Nona. It's going to be the most technologically advanced hotel in the world. So when you get into your room, you're going to be able to probably talk to Siri and tell her everything that you want to happen, and you're going to be able to get just the right shading on your windows. And so we can't wait to show you, but Lake Nona has got the Wave Hotel. Is anybody out there sitting on their couch? Well, you got to see what's going on here. So these nice young people are right here in Lake Nona, the Lake Nona Performance Center, and they are working out, and it's beautiful weather, great music, and I think those things are called medicine balls, so they're a little heavy, and they're actually smiling while they work out. So not only can you exercise in this wonderful place, there's swimmers that we can see, but there's also Deepak Chopra is part of this wonderful facility because they're encouraging people to meditate and to live your highest and best life. And so we'll make sure we come back and do a more in-depth interview with the people that are involved with the Lake Nona Performance Center. This is hot off the press. This is the area that the Disney organization is going to be creating their new campus. It's going to be right off of 417. But here's the real scoop. Cast members are going to be moving over between now and the end of 2022. And where are they going to be stationed? Celebration, Florida, the town that Disney built. So we are finishing up here in Lake Nona, but believe me, we're going to be back here several times. They've got lots of land that they're continuing to build on, and they are inspiring us, and they're doing all this high, cool technology stuff. 5G from Verizon. What does that even mean? But anyway, we're going to come back and report on it. So please make sure you subscribe, like, and do what you got to do. But anyway, please make sure you stay on because we've got another video that's going to tell you some more cool stuff about other areas surrounding Cinderella's castle. Everybody, did you see our point? Don't you see how those connective tissues are there with Walt Disney today? Mm-hmm. But I'm super excited now as well because we've been spending a year, my dream team, my realtor dream team, Cinderella being one of them. Her name's Virginia Carlson. Actually, why don't you do me a favor and tell everybody your telephone number?
Sure. Again, Virginia Carlson, 407-487-9960.
So where do you think we should go next week? Because I know we told everybody we would promise to tell them what the city was next week. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that we could make some really good points for Winter Garden being Adventureland.
Oh, I can't wait to see that one. All right, everybody, stay tuned. Make sure you put in your comments too if you agree with us or if you disagree with us. But we are stating that we think that Walt Disney had a lot to do with Lake Nona being very similar to Tomorrowland
Absolutely.
in the Magic Kingdom. Have a great week.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.